Hello everyone, it's Peter Moran again from White Long Jetty. Now for this week's video we're going to do something a little bit different. Last Monday, in conjunction with our other officers here on the Central Coast and our team from White Corporate, we put together a very informative webinar. And on that webinar it was a snapshot of what's been happening in our Central Coast market over the last 12 months. Now as you get to watch some of the video in a moment, you'll be quite surprised at just how much capital growth is achieved in some of the suburbs. So I'm going to exit stage for a moment. I'm going to pass you over to Tim Snell from our corporate team. So please enjoy and we'll catch up with you at the end.
Reason we are all here. The question we have no doubt been asked is, well, how is the marketplace? We've been seeing and reading all kinds of information, misinformation perhaps, about what has been happening over the last 12 weeks, 13 weeks of lockdown. And probably more interesting is the conversation that starts us heading into, well, what's going to happen after the lockdown? You know, it's one of these great times in real estate. It's the question we always wonder is what is happening with my most important investment being the family home. And as you can see on the screen, and we're going to go through a few slides here today, is the Central Coast, amongst other regional marketplaces, has simply outperformed all the other marketplaces across New South Wales and, in fact, on an Australian and Australasian scope as well. And it's not hard to know why. When you think about the lifestyle options that are on offer inside the Central Coast, you're still not but an hour or so from the CBD, and of course the northern beaches, the upper North Shore, lower North Shore, and with working from home lifestyle from these beachside suburbs and regions has just gone up and up and up. Some of our key featured suburbs that we're going to highlight here this afternoon, Saratoga has gone up some 43.9% in the last 12 months. You can see as we go down the list, Tascott, Terrigal, Kincumber, all 30% up. Long Jetty, 25%. Greenpoint, 24%. And this is not surprising at all. And for those of you that are buyers and sellers, it's informative and interesting to suggest, well, what does that mean moving forward? Well, this being the case, no one really knows what the future holds, but sometimes history does tend to show a little bit of a mirror. And when you consider what's going on and perhaps the considerations of what's happening economically, there's some really positive signs for not just sellers, but buyers as well, especially in this beautiful marketplace in the Central Coast. When you consider that working from home options are certainly more affordability to working more flexible locations and hours, we're only suggesting that backed by the economy and backed by, of course, the demand that is inside this beautiful region, that there is strong positive growth only continuing for years to come. You take a look historically, and of course, you would know that real estate only continues to head in the right direction. But of course, the last 12 months has really seen a meteoric rise inside the Central Coast in particular. But you compare this to what's happening in Greater New South Wales and Australia, and you still see excellent value inside the Central Coast. When you take a look at what's happening here compared to other regional spaces, you're starting to see that regional New South Wales is only on the way up. And when you take a look at how this is compared on a national scale, regional Victoria, Queensland, Northern Territory, regional living and lifestyle continues to be the way forward. And when you think about what we can start to do with not just the lifestyle, but the space, it is no surprise to see that the level of interest is still here. Now,
So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that session. Some great information coming through. So look, my advice is if you haven't had your property valued recently, it's probably worth doing so. You might be quite surprised at just how much capital growth has been achieved and therefore how much equity you now have in your current home, be it investment property or your principal place of residence. We'd love to help you out with that. If we can, please give us a call here at the office on 4360 4360. Bye. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.